Morning guys, how are you all doing? So Dan from Trading with Dan here. So this is our Bitcoin morning update. So over to the charts. So yeah, Bitcoin's still looking good here. Still looking really good. We've obviously got over this 9,800 resistance and using it as support now quite nicely. We just had quite a little bit of a dip below to just under 9,700, but again you can see instantly bought back up and trading strong again, so that again is a bullish indication on that 4-hour candle. Obviously the candle's not closed yet, but well, actually it's only just open, but it's looking good as at the moment. So yeah, it's a case of maybe we can just play out this range here, break above 10,000, and then I think I've said to you in the last videos, haven't I? We get back above this level, back above 10,000. I think that'll be it then. I think we'll definitely get some definite 5-figure price action for a while, as in basically 10k or over. You can see we tested it a lot of times. We've broken above it here quite convincingly, then got rejected. Now we're back up at it again. We've got very strongly rejected from it, but we basically bought nearly all the way back up. You can see we're pretty much putting in higher lows as well. So this is all constructive bullish price action. Does it mean that we definitely have to go up? Of course it doesn't. But does it mean it's more likely that we go up? Of course it does. So obviously not a financial advisor, not a financial advisor. So I do believe we're going to be in one of those situations. When I was talking about this situation here before a potential short squeeze and a move to 10.5k, which we pretty much got straight after. Again, these any bears are getting squeezed here. Not that there may be as many bears as there were last time, as many shorts, because obviously we had this blow off, which obviously would have liquidated a lot of shorts. But yeah, we have that move down, we rally up, people looking to sell the retest, of basically just a higher levels after the move down, as it were. But yeah, so they're not particularly getting paid at the moment, so they could end up getting squeezed again. But yeah, but I will obviously point out that there probably won't be as many like pent up shorts, because obviously the blow off we did have before. But yeah, so again, I think it's the case today. I mean, just judging how strong we are looking, and stock market's really strong as well. I mean, if we get back above this 10k, I believe I mean, it may not be as violent this time, because obviously, like I said, we probably had more stops, because you can see this trend line was quite well respected. Even this move up was not a real reason to have to take your short off. But yeah, so I think we may get more organized, more regular price action. We break up here, get like just sort of like how we did here. Look, break up, and then sort of consolidate around it. So yeah, so that's what we may happen around the 10k level. And then I think we'll gradually drift, make our way back above 10.5, and then once we get above that level, that's when it will start to look a bit like this, and we will go a bit crazy. But I do believe we'll have these two levels of support once we break above this sort of 10.5 level of basically 10.5 and 10k roughly. We'll just round them up. But yeah, so I do think there will be pretty strong support. So what we will have at that point as well, we'll have a clear levels really for us to know if we are going to have put in a top there, we're going to come down of basically around the 10k level. I believe if we get above 10.5, trade around this zone, and then we get back below 10k, I do believe that will definitely signal more downside for us. But that isn't necessarily what I think will happen. But obviously that's quite a few moves ahead, quite a few chess moves ahead, so we can have some more variables before then. You could look at this as sort of an ascending wedge, which could potentially break down. But that's not what I do think is the likely scenario. I just think we're just making these levels back up. We're climbing a bit of a wall of worry, because obviously bulls have just been through this debacle straight after thinking it was basically Christmas. It became pretty basically not Christmas straight after. So yeah, but they look to be crawling that crawling that wall of worry, and then once they do start to get a bit more confident, probably once we get over 10k again, if we get over 10k again, because it's a very important level, look, then I think at that point we will start to see some fireworks. So that's kind of what I'm looking at here. Over to the 12-hour Stokes. So yeah, look, you can see we're starting to move back up. If we can start to get a good upward slope and then get back through this trend line, well, by the time we do that, I think we'll be over 10.5k in all fairness. But this is looking good for sort of the start of a move up. This is a nice 12 looking candle as it stands. Only 2 and a bit hours left, nearly 3 hours left of this 12-hour candle. So that's obviously most of the candle done. So this is a nice looking 12-hour candle. Like a lot of these, look, we test the low side but get bought up, test the low side, get bought up. I mean, that's generally bullish. Let's have a look at the daily. The daily, oh, it's going to be a bit slow loading. Let's have a look at this daily. So yeah, daily looking good as well. 3 nice green candles, long low wicks, low wicks. Obviously a lot longer to go in this daily, and a lot can happen today, so not really too much we can necessarily read into that daily. So have a look at the weekly. Weekly candle starting to look better. I mean, if we can close this week basically above 10,000, then this weekly candle will look pretty good. At the moment, it is a borderline indecision candle. Obviously, when we were low, it was a lot more of a definite indecision candle. But we're starting to move up. We start, as in the green body, starting to move up this candle. So I believe if we close it anywhere above 10k, it will look an extremely bullish candle with a nice big green body, a big long lower bullish wick, and then not much of a wick above it. So yeah, I mean, it's very rudimental analysis of what a candle looks like there, but that's basically what it will look like. And then it will just look like continuate once we take out the top of the candle, wherever it is in the next week, at what will maybe be such an important level up here, then we could definitely see some upside. And what else we can see, you guys that watch my other TD videos, obviously TD9s are important, and then how I play them is we have when the candle closes, we obviously have the low of the candle and the high of the candle, so it activates a short trade based on that TD9 once we break the low of the candle, which incidentally is around the 8,000, very important 8,600 area. But when we actually take out the top of the candle, that just means we're back on trend. That means we're not getting a reversal from this candle, and it's onwards and upwards. And the apprehension that may be around this weekly 9 then starts to dissipate once the next week we trade above it, and that could be a massive trigger, because the people that are potentially getting held back by this large time frame weekly 9 then may start to think, well, not may, they will start to think, okay, so we've invalidated this 9, so I can start actually buying, and then we're going to have another 9 potential weeks of upside. And don't forget that also currently, because obviously we could trade up to this level and break through it before the end of this week. Obviously 2 hours 15 minutes, I mean, we very easily could do, but once we break above that as well, look at the important level we're breaking above as well here. So that'll be basically a new closing weekly high if we basically trade above and close above it. In fact, it'll be a new trade. Haven't traded even above there, and obviously the wick only came up to the level, so it will be a new weekly high above this level here too. And yeah, I mean, that's gonna trigger all sorts of stops, all sorts of buys, I mean, there'll be a lot of volatility, so I expect we'll get a big move up, maybe retrace, and then it should obviously for us bulls out there, hopefully be a buy the retest opportunity for 16k, 14, 16, 20k, and then obviously 20k is an even bigger region, a bigger level. Yeah, interest will be, that could be what we've got in store for us, guys. But as it stands though, obviously you can see the weekly, I mean, this weekly isn't closed. We've got 2 days to close back under, so back under 9,500, which is very doable, very doable, and then would have a weekly 9 candle getting rejected from the high side, an indecision candle after a long move up below macro trend line, rejected from major macro trend line, and if they are They are basically all the ingredients you'll need for to signal a higher than evens likelihood of a downwards move. Obviously, how long or how far that downwards move will go for isn't necessarily signaled by those things happening. We'll just have to play that as it goes, but that is what that will kind of look like. So yeah, so that is the bearish case. So I don't obviously want to do all sunshine and rainbows and unicorns and fairy dust and glitter and all that jazz. I mean, we have to be realistic here, but realistically speaking, it is looking good. So that's well, that's just how we just got to trade the market with that bias, basically. So yeah, very critical levels. Again, we've had some big rejection wicks, looking good overall. We'll see what happens the rest of the day. I mean, obviously, the longer we stay in these zones, stay at these highs, stay around these areas, the more likely it is we are going to pop up. That's just how it works. So yeah, let's just have a look at the 1 hour, just see if there's anything. Just looking, it's just the same constructive chart on the 1 hour. We kind of see. You see how nicely we play out these zones. We play the zone, stay around the support resistance, get back up again, play around the support resistance, get back up, get rejected, get back up, break through, come back. You see how these zones sort of trade. So you can kind of see this price action we've got going on here. I would pretty much expect maybe similar to this price action in this zone here before we then break up, and then that will obviously be a lot more of an important place to break over again. And then hopefully do the same within this zone. So right, so yeah, thanks for listening, guys. Remember, this is not a financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. Always do your own research, and I will speak to you guys later.